Welcome back, folks, to Things You Should Know Civil War Battles. Today we're going to be talking about the battle at Carnifex Ferry, located in Nicholas County, West Virginia, on September 10th, 1861. After the Union loss at Kessler Cross Lanes, the Union General Rosecrans decided to push back with an additional 3 brigades, or approximately 5,000 men. Then on the afternoon of September 10th, 1862, those troops met with General Floyd's defenders. General Floyd still had a single brigade of about 1,700 men that he had during the Battle of Kessler Cross Lanes. Rosecrans' men met with Floyd's pickets and managed to pin the troops into the fortifications at Carnifex Ferry. However, even with the pressure, Floyd was able to repel the Union assaults. In doing so, he inflicted much higher Union casualties than he suffered in his own men. Now, just as a side note, one of the remaining structures from the battle is the Pattison House. The Pattison House was caught in the middle of the fighting, and it's one of the few original structures left over from the fight. You can still see it nowadays if you visit the actual National Park site. After being pushed back, Rosecrans turned his artillery and started firing constantly at the Confederates. Floyd realized he was outnumbered and was under severe heavy artillery bombardment, and even though he repulsed the Union assault, the artillery combined with the outnumbered meant that he would not be able to hold his site. Intending to save as many men as he could, Floyd moved his men on the night of September 13th. He performed an orderly retreat from Carnifex Ferry and returned back to the Big Sewell Mountain. There he encamped on the Fayette-Greenbrier County line, and after some consideration, Floyd decided to withdraw his men even further, another 16 miles back to Meadow Bluff. There he met with Confederate General Lee, and we will be talking about General Lee a lot in the future. After the dust settled, it became evident that the fighting between the Confederate generals themselves was not over. Like we talked about in the Battle of Kessler Cross Lanes, they still weren't getting along. Floyd blamed his defeat on General Wise, who had delayed sending Floyd more troops. This dissension resulted in both commanders retreating an additional 20 miles to the Sewell Mountain. Each commander established their own defenses, effectively splitting their army into 2. Well, guys, that was quick. It was the Battle of Carnifex Ferry. It was short, but the casualties were high, and it was the tipping point where you could start seeing the kind of casualties that American soldiers, both Confederate and Union, would suffer. The estimated casualties for this battle was 158 Union soldiers and 32 Confederate soldiers. I want to thank you for listening about the Battle of Carnifex Ferry. Meet with us next week as we talk about Cheat Mountain, West Virginia, located in Pocahontas County, for September 12th to September 15th, 1861. Take care.